It's back to school with Philstocks, Guro, where learning leads to earning. Tara, aral tayo!
Stock market? Di ba pang mayaman lang yun? Pang R-case lang?
Oo, pang mayaman yun. Di ba parang sugol yun?
Check mo na ako.
Oo nga, wag na yun.
Check.
Ha? Naku, mahirap yan.
Tama ba yung pagkakarinig ko? Stock market? Naku, baka malugi lang ako dyan. Sayang yung pinaghirapan kong pera.
Whenever we hear the word stocks, we always jump ahead of ourselves. We think about the many complicated things, such as the candlesticks, the charts, the many numbers and the equations and the like. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's try to go back to the very basics first. What are these stocks? Ano po ba itong sa Tagalog ay tinatawag nating mga sapi? Well, stocks are simply part ownership. It's all about taking part of a certain company. Imagine niyo na lang po there's this one big company gaining lots and lots of assets and earning millions and millions of pesos. And you want to take part of this certain company. Now, if this company sells shares of stocks, then that's possible. Now, the best part of being a stockholder is that you get a claim on the company's assets as well as on its profits. So, habang kumikita yung kumpanya, kumikita ka din. Now, where can you buy and sell shares of stocks? The answer, stock market. Now that I've already gotten that out of the way, allow me to address these ongoing myths in the stock market. Ito po yung mga nakita natin on the first part of our video. So let's try to address these one by one. First myth. Sabi ni Kuya kanina na naglalaro ng chess, the stock market is only for the rich people. Well, not necessarily. You really don't need that huge sum of money in order to invest in the stock market. In fact, here in Philstocks, all you need is just 5,000 pesos. With just 5,000 pesos, you can already start your stock market journey. With just 5,000 pesos, you can already carve your financial future. So, myth number 1, busted. Myth number 2, sabi naman nung isang kuya kanina, yung naglalaro rin ng chess, the stock market is like gambling. So, let's see. In gambling, you have your cards, you have your slot machine, you have your chips, you even have the lotto. Whereas in the stock market, you have the buying and the selling of the shares of stocks of a certain company. Well, both may be banking on uncertain outcomes. But by the end of the day, there are a lot of differences between the two. And there's this one that stands out above the rest. And that's what you call cut loss. Allow me to explain further. In gambling kasi, once you've already placed your bet, it's already a zero-sum game. It's already win or lose. It's either you go home with all or you go home with nothing. Whereas in stock market, whenever you're already incurring losses, you can always stop the bleeding by pulling out your funds. And then you can place these funds on other shares of stocks which you think can benefit you further. So with that, myth number 2, busted. Myth number 3, ang sabi naman ni ate kanina, the stock market is difficult to understand. There's so many hard concepts, so many things that you have to study, so many things that you have to analyze. Well, along your way in your journey in the stock market, you'll really encounter a lot of things, a lot of new concepts, ideas, new lessons. Sometimes you'd even be pushed to the limits as you study hard. But by the end of the day, remember that the stock market is still a market where buying and selling occurs and where price is a crucial point. Just remember your market instincts. You buy low and you sell high. Okay? With that, myth number 3, busted. Are you afraid of losses? Well, then let's go to the final myth. Sabi ni Sir kanina, the stock market usually leads to losses. Well, losing is already a part of investors' life. In fact, everybody has experienced losing in the stock market. But there's no need to be discouraged. You can always minimize your losses and maximize your gains so long as you practice due diligence. And this is where the analysis of charts comes in. This is where the analysis of financial statements comes in. This is also the part wherein we study the right selection of stocks with respect to our risk preferences and the level of income that we can commit. Finally, there's what you call the management of emotions. Now, these things may be hard, but at the same time, they're exciting. And don't worry, because we're gonna help you out with this one. But for now, what I can say is that you can always minimize your losses and maximize your gains, all with just due diligence. So with that, myth number 4, busted. I hope you learned, and I hope you'll earn. Thank you very much for listening. Again, this is Teacher Japhet. See you next time. Class dismissed.